Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today is going to be an anime and manga comparison review on Tokyo Ghoul. It's mainly going to be centered on the dub arc from Tokyo Ghoul, so I'm not really going to be talking about the chapters before the dub arc, just letting y'all know that right now. And if you did not know, and if you were not up to speed and you're anime-only watchers such as myself technically, you should probably not realize that they swapped arcs. Now, as we all know, if you're an anime-only watcher, they made the shoe arc, the dude that wanted to eat Kaneki because he was half ghoul. Well, that arc, supposedly from what I found out, takes place after the dub arc that currently ended in the anime. So they completely swapped the arcs around, and they put an arc that was after the dub arc first, and they put the dub arc after, the arc that's supposed to be after that. So, pretty much, they mixed around the arcs, the studio that's currently doing the anime, and it's very weird the reason why they did it, because it doesn't make a lick of sense. If you're going to animate both arcs, I don't understand why you would, switch them around, like, flop them around, and put one arc before the other when they don't go correctly in the storyline. But nonetheless, okay? I'm going to be doing a comparison review of the dub arc. And so, there is a couple of changes I noticed in the dub arc that was never mentioned in the anime. Now, as I said already in my anime reviews, I am technically watching Tokyo Ghoul's anime as a standalone. It's went off track from what I can already see from reading the manga. It's definitely become its own different type of story. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't know what they did to the arc where Shu's trying to eat Kaneki. I don't know the name of that arc or not, but I don't know what they changed. But from what I can see from the dub arc and what they have changed, it is kind of drastic. For one thing I want to point out, the biggest difference I noticed about the manga from the anime is the RC levels. Now, if you're an anime-only watcher, such as myself, before I read up to chapter 30, and currently I think the anime is on chapter 50, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but either way, right now I'm on chapter 30, just finished chapter 30, and that was the end of the dub arc. And they were talking a lot about these RC levels, and supposedly these RC levels were inside of humans, or inside of all of us, and these RC levels, I'm guessing, is our red blood cell count, or whatever I pretty much understood from this, this arc. Well, these RC levels are extremely high in ghouls. For instance, in average humans, they're like 200 to 500 RC levels, and in ghouls, they're up to 1,000 or above. And that's how they can detect ghouls. Here's the big thing, okay? They cut out this entire bit of information in the anime. I don't remember if they covered it in the anime or not. They might have briefly covered it, but I know for a fact they cut out one specific scene in the dub arc from the manga, and they never put it in the anime. You had Toka and you had our main male character Kaneki go inside of the CCG's actual, organization, go inside their building to spread false information about Hinami. So, right there, that is a completely big fucking difference, because from the anime, Toka was going by herself to take down, the freaking doves, take down the suitcase holders. She was doing it by herself, and then it led to Kaneki helping her stop Almon at the end of that one specific episode, about 2 episodes back. And so, they cut out an entire scene where Toka and Kaneki went to their home base, their headquarters pretty much, to spread false information. And here is the interesting part that they cut out. The biggest thing they cut out was that they had these metal detectors. Now, we know what metal detectors are. People walk through them all the time in airports or different places in major cities. Well, these metal detectors in the CCG have RC levels detectors. For instance, they can detect high RC levels. So they instantly will detect if a ghoul walks through them. And they have never shown this technology at all in the anime. They never hinted towards RC levels or nothing. And it's very strange, because this definitely changes the entire aspect of the way you look at a ghoul. Because now that you know ghouls have a higher RC level, it makes you feel like they're a genetic experiment. That's exactly what it makes you think, or a virus or something, for their RC levels to spread to that high in caliber. And that might explain why they want to eat human flesh. I don't know. But here's the biggest interesting concept that was removed, too, from it, is that you had Kaneki and Toka talk about if the CCG and more organizations like the government was to fund these metal detector RC level detectors, and put them all over the world, ghouls would be pretty much fucked. That's exactly what it would mean, because ghouls could not walk through regular buildings and stuff, because they would be instantly detected that their RC levels are off the charts. Now, here's another crazy thing that happened in this part they cut out. Kaneki could walk through this metal detector, this RC detector, he could walk through and he would not go off. Mado drug him through the metal detector, and it didn't go off. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't technically explained from what I've read, but here is my assumptions. Since Kaneki technically started off as a human, I'm going to take a guess and say he might have different RC levels from standard ghouls. Maybe his RC levels are like a human's, but he has those ghouls' abilities. Maybe that's what makes him such a strong hybrid of a ghoul and human. Why they talked about earlier on in the anime about how, half-blooded ghouls or one-eyed ghouls are very strong. Now, besides that, another thing they cut out I noticed is Mado's personality. In, the anime, Mado is just showcased as a crazy bastard. He was evil. He was the main person you wanted to hate on the human side. He was the person you directed towards all your hatred towards on the human side. And you had Almond directing all his hatred towards the ghoul side. Like, you had both perspectives. I talked about it in my episode reviews. And Mado was like the evil. And the thing is, is Mado as a character technically had a lot more depth to him or complexity. For instance, he really loved, the Kagunes of ghouls. He loved collecting them. I mean, we got a brief aspect of this from the anime's episodes in the recent episode he died in, but they didn't go too far into it. Like, they specifically cut out scenes from the anime of Mado enjoying collecting these things, collecting these Quinque, I think that's what they're called. I'm not mess up with the name, but if they're Quinque, he loved collecting them and just using them all the time. Like, for instance, he was very curious when he first, met Almond. He was curious what he had as a Quinque. So, right there, it's just really interesting how they cut out that development of his character. Now, one more thing that's a big thing I noticed they changed around is that Toka. In the latest episode of the anime, the latest episode, right at the end of the episode, we are revealed to Toka's brother being alive. The thing is, in the chapters, I think it's chapter 26 or 7, somewhere around in there, we find out that Toka has a brother. And this is in the middle of the Dove arc. Now, this arc in the manga takes place before that arc with, the crazy Hisoka 2.0. So, yeah, I'm just letting you all know that right now. They introduced Toka's brother, mentioned him before technically the anime did. So it's really strange how they mix those events around. Overall, they definitely have cut out quite a few things that is really strange and shocking. Like, one thing is the entire bit with Rize. That is something I noticed quite drastically different from the anime. In the recent episode where you saw Kaneki fighting his will to devour Almond, the, human detective, there was no sign of Rize in that scene in the manga. Pretty much from what I can tell is that the current studio that is adapting Tokyo Ghoul is purposely making it look like Rize is taking control of Kaneki's body like a standard shonen. As any standard shonen, you must have a demon beast or a demon or another split personality inside of you to be a badass or a main male character. I mean, we've seen this a lot in Naruto, we've seen this a lot in Bleach, stuff like that. We've seen it in major series. And so, I find it strange how they're trying to add in that element to Kaneki in the anime. They're trying to make it look like he has a split personality, like Rize is still alive, when technically in the manga, from what I read, there was no personality like that. So, overall, very different changes. Remember, this is just a comparison review between the Dove arc of the anime and manga. I necessarily am not going to say which one I enjoy more. I'm not going to say I hate the anime. I'm not. I actually enjoy the anime. And personally, from my perspective, I enjoy the animation from Tokyo Ghoul. And when it comes down to the art style and animation, I enjoy the anime a lot better. I love getting to see the voice acting and the music, but the only thing I could say that is the biggest change they have done, and I've been saying it since I started my comparison reviews, is that they changed Hide's character development, and these RC levels seem to have a lot of importance, like they're major, really big importance to the overall series, but they're not really being introduced in the anime. So, it's strange. Tell me your thoughts. If you want to see more comparison reviews on Tokyo Ghoul, for instance, if you want to see a comparison review of the next arc, for instance, the arc where, you know, the dude was trying to eat Kaneki, let me know. I will try to do a comparison review of that. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.